Let's get right into it. Number 1, follow your passion. Ah yes, the golden nugget of wisdom from every self-help poster in your high school guidance counselor's office. Just follow your passion and you'll never work a day in your life. Sounds inspiring. Right. Except, reality check, most people's passions involve sleeping in, binge watching, or crushing bags of Doritos at 2 a.m. Not exactly careers. Here's the psychological backstory. Passion isn't some mystical North Star guiding your destiny. It's just your brain getting a little dopamine hit when you're interested in something. Interests shift, passions fade. Ask any kid who once declared they'd grow up to be a dinosaur trainer, still waiting on Jurassic Park to call back, yeah. Also, studies in motivation psychology show that people who chase passion over practicality often end up less satisfied because reality rarely matches their Instagram influencer fantasy. Instead, career researchers suggest something totally unsexy but effective build skills, then passion follows. It's the IKEA effect. You don't love the job until you put in the sweat equity and build some rickety shelves of competence. So if you're waiting for your one true passion to descend from the heavens, good luck. More likely, you'll just follow it straight into unemployment. Number 2, positive vibes only. Imagine breaking your leg and someone rushing over, not with a doctor, not with an ambulance, but with a motivational poster of a cat hanging from a tree that says, "Stay positive." This is the toxic positivity trap. The idea that if you just smile through your misery, your problems will magically dissolve like cotton candy in a puddle. Psychology says, nope. Suppressing negative emotions actually makes them stronger. It's like trying to shove a beach ball underwater. It's going to explode back up and smack you in the face, usually at the worst possible time. Genuine emotional health comes from recognizing all your feelings, the messy, ugly, inconvenient ones too. Ironically, always forcing yourself to be positive can lead to more stress, anxiety, and even burnout, because instead of actually dealing with your garbage fire of a situation, you're just spraying Febreze over it and calling it fine. Real resilience isn't pretending everything is sunshine and rainbows. It's acknowledging that sometimes it's thunderclouds and raccoons in the trash can, and that's okay. So no, you don't need to chant good vibes only. Sometimes the best vibe is crying into your takeout and then actually doing something about the mess. Number 3, sleep when you're dead. The productivity cult classic. People brag about pulling all-nighters like they're war heroes. I only got 3 hours of sleep last night because I was hustling. Congratulations, you just turned your brain into mashed potatoes. Here's the deal, sleep is not optional. It's not even a luxury. It's literally how your brain does basic housekeeping, like emptying the mental trash bin, consolidating memories, and scrubbing out toxic proteins. When you skip sleep, you're not being hardcore. You're just signing up for hallucinations, bad decisions, and an eventual nervous breakdown. And the science is brutal. Sleep deprivation wrecks your mood, tanks your immune system, and makes you as cognitively impaired as someone who's legally drunk. Which means all those late-night grind sessions, you might as well have been shotgunning margaritas while writing those emails. So no, you won't sleep when you're dead. You'll just get there faster if you keep believing that garbage advice. Number 4, fake it till you make it. Here's the go-to advice for anyone drowning in imposter syndrome. Just pretend you're confident until you actually become confident. Sounds simple like a cheat code for life. Except, have you ever tried to fake confidence in front of people who actually know what they're doing? It's like showing up to a black tie event in a party store tuxedo. Everyone can tell. Sure, there's research suggesting that acting as if can sometimes help. Smiling can trick your brain into a slightly better mood. Standing tall might help you feel less like a gremlin. But the idea that you can completely bluff your way into competence, not exactly. Confidence without skill is just arrogance in a funny hat. Worse, faking it can backfire. Your brain knows you're lying to yourself, which can actually deepen feelings of fraudulence. And if you get caught pretending, congratulations, you've just made your imposter syndrome 10x worse. A healthier approach is building what psychologists call self-efficacy. Translation, actually doing stuff, failing, learning, then succeeding a little. That's how real confidence builds, not through Broadway-level acting. So yeah, fake it till you make it works, but only if it is karaoke night and make it mean surviving without permanent shame. Number 5, love yourself. First, this one sounds wholesome, right? Love yourself before you love anyone else. Cue the spa day, self-care candles, and motivational TikToks. But here's the twist, telling people to just love themselves is kind of like telling someone drowning to just swim harder. If they knew how, they wouldn't be flailing in the first place. Psychologists point out that self-esteem doesn't grow in a vacuum. Humans are wired to need relationships, feedback, and experiences to help form a sense of worth. Telling someone with deep insecurities to just love yourself is like handing them IKEA furniture without the instructions. Sure, maybe they'll figure it out, but more likely they'll end up sitting on a pile of broken planks wondering why life sucks. Real self-love comes from doing hard things, setting boundaries, learning skills, healing trauma, and sometimes, yes, therapy. Not just bubble baths and affirmations whispered into your mirror like a deranged Disney villain. So yeah, love yourself first, but don't expect it to magically happen because you bought a $7 lavender candle from Target. Number 6, everything happens for a reason. The philosophical shrug people use when life turns into a dumpster fire. Lost your job. Everything happens for a reason. Relationship exploded. Everything happens for a reason. Accidentally microwaved tinfoil. Yep, cosmic destiny. The problem is, this phrase sounds comforting, but it's basically a spiritual participation trophy. It skips over the messy truth. Sometimes bad stuff just happens. Not because of fate, not because of some grand lesson, but because the universe is chaotic and your landlord's toaster is older than you are. Psychologists warn that this mindset can lead to what's called false meaning making. Instead of actually processing grief, loss, or mistakes, you slap on this one-size-fits-all band-aid. Sure, finding meaning can be healthy, but forcing meaning onto every tragedy, that's just denial in a flowery Hallmark card. Here's a better take: not everything happens for a reason, but you can choose what reason you make out of it. Agency beats fatalism. Otherwise, you're basically outsourcing your life story to the cosmic equivalent of a bad screenwriter. Number 7, time heals all wounds. Oh, the classic line people throw at you when they don't know what else to say. Just give it time. As if trauma, heartbreak, or grief is some kind of bad Wi-Fi connection that just fixes itself if you wait long enough. Spoiler, it doesn't. Psychology tells us that time alone doesn't heal anything. What matters is what you do with that time. Avoiding, repressing, or pretending you're fine, that just lets pain fester like a half-eaten burrito left in the sun. On the flip side, engaging in therapy, journaling, community support, or even just letting yourself ugly cry into a pillow, that's the stuff that leads to actual healing. The time heals myth also puts pressure on people. Like if you're still sad after 6 months, a year, 5 years, oh no, you must be broken. Nope. Grief doesn't come with an expiration date, and trauma doesn't vanish just because your phone's calendar flipped 12 times. So yeah, time can help, but it's not the miracle cure. Saying time heals all wounds is like telling someone with a broken leg to just wait until the bone remembers how to heal itself without a cast, doctor, or crutches. Technically true, but also incredibly dumb. Number 8, money can't buy happiness. Ah yes, the bedtime story rich people love to tell everyone else. Money doesn't matter. Happiness comes from within. Sure, Jeff, that's easy to say when your yacht has a helipad. Let's be real, research shows money absolutely can buy happiness up to a point. Psych studies, especially the famous Princeton one, suggest that once you make enough to cover your basic needs and avoid financial stress around 70k, 90k a year in the U.S. Adjusted for inflation, extra cash doesn't dramatically boost your joy. But until you reach that comfort level, money is basically Prozac with a debit card. The problem with money can't buy happiness is that it makes people feel guilty for wanting financial security. Like no, you're not shallow because paying rent without crying makes you feel good. You're just a human being whose nervous system doesn't enjoy the constant threat of eviction. So maybe money can't buy happiness in the sense of eternal bliss, but it sure can buy you tacos, a therapist, and working brakes on your car. And honestly, that's close enough. Number 9, ignore the haters. The motivational rallying cry of every YouTuber, artist, or middle schooler with a TikTok account: just ignore the haters. Don't let them get to you. Except, ignoring people who are actively hurting you isn't some Jedi-level strategy. It's just bottling it up while quietly seething. Psychologists will tell you that humans are wired to care about social evaluation. That's why one mean comment can sting worse than 100 compliments. Telling yourself to ignore the haters is like telling your brain to stop itching when you've got a mosquito bite. It doesn't work. A better strategy is reframing. Instead of ignoring, recognize criticism for what it is: sometimes useful feedback, sometimes projection, sometimes just random nonsense from someone whose Wi-Fi is the only power they'll ever have in life. Then decide what's worth listening to. Ignoring everything means you miss growth. Obsessing means you hand your self-worth over to trolls. Balance, baby. So sure, ignore the haters, but maybe also mute them, block them, and laugh about how Brenda from Ohio thinks your nose looks like a potato. Number 10, think positive, attract positive. Yes, the law of attraction, basically cosmic Amazon Prime. Just think really hard about getting a Tesla, and the universe will ship one to your driveway in 2 business days. Spoiler, it won't. Here's the thing, positive thinking can help your mindset. Sure, it might nudge you into noticing opportunities or feeling motivated enough to try. But the idea that your thoughts literally bend reality, that's less psychology and more Harry Potter fanfiction. Studies show visualization works best when combined with effort, not as a replacement. In fact, people who spend too much time fantasizing about success often do worse, because their brains get a premature dopamine hit and stop hustling. It's like mentally eating a pizza. You imagine it so vividly. Your brain relaxes as if you already had it, except your stomach's still empty and now you're too lazy to actually order one. That's the trap of attracting positive energy. So yeah, think positive, but also maybe apply for the job, do the work, and double check that your vision board isn't just a collage of things you'll never actually pursue. Otherwise, you're just daydreaming with extra glitter. Number 11, be yourself. The crown jewel of bad advice. Be yourself, just be you. Unless, of course, yourself is an anxious, sleep-deprived gremlin who panic laughs at funerals. Then maybe don't. The problem with be yourself is that it assumes you already know who you are, which most people don't. Identity is fluid. It changes with age, experience, and whether or not you've had coffee yet. Psychologists argue that we have multiple selves depending on context. Work you, friend you, family you, stranger in the bathroom line you. Which one are you supposed to be? Plus, authenticity isn't about being unfiltered all the time. If you're honest 24/7, you'll end up unemployed, divorced, and probably banned from Applebee's. Real growth comes from figuring out which parts of yourself are worth keeping and which ones could use an upgrade. So yeah, be yourself, but maybe aim for the best version, not the one that rage posts at 2 a.m. after 3 Monster Energies. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.